Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Shifty Nivy and today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of our new Genshin Impact file. If you enjoy relaxing and goofy gaming content with the occasional joke here and there, grab your snacky snacks and snuggle in. And if you want to come back and visit me, please like and subscribe to get notifications of all of my new uploads and streams. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey everybody and welcome back. I'm Shifty Nivy, and today we're going to be delving into Kaveh's Hangout and his little bit of his background, his little bit of story quest, and then we have a little bit of building Kirara mixed in there just for some fun, and we're going to goof off and run around as a kitty cat box. So, without further ado, Baizu's here, Miko's here, everybody's ready. Da da da. Well, sorry about that, Baizu.
It's just some chronic problem I have flaring up again.
Okay, so far on Kirara, we don't have her fully built, but we do have a little bit of progress. If I can find her here on this list. There she is. I've got her to level 60 so far. And we're working on an HP related build. Alright, Knights of Favonius Sword, or Favonius Sword for the crit hits. I've got her in a artifact set of Deepwoods. I'm not sure if that is best, but I was really optimistic with the stats on this. We'll probably go in and try to level some of these later on today. Just for the giggles, and hopefully getting something decent. I think I could do better than that timepiece. Got a little dendro damage bonus piece here. And a crit rate hat, which I'll probably swap out. I think I had these laying around on Kale, maybe. I haven't built her either. I've got a lot of characters I need to build. But we're just going to kind of goof off, see how she is for exploration while we do Kaveh's Hangout. So, alright, first things first, let's go grab our quest.
Worry about.
Do, do. Nope. Always in the wrong spot. Alright, let's go do some Kaveh. Oh, it's already in progress. I've already grabbed the quest. So let's find it. That's Farazan. Hailfire. Nope. I promise I'll get it figured out here in a second. Okay. It said I already have it. Alas, I do not. Let's go through and actually read what the error said. Begin Hangout. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll have to drop Farazans and start that one over. Some of the Hangouts can be a little dry, and I didn't like just running in circles. So, we'll start that one over again, and I'll probably stream it. Off to Sumeru! Whoop. And we're loading, and we're loading. Ah! Okie dokie.
I've taken a look at your proposal. It's much better than the ones you showed me before, but I'd still like to make some changes.
Oh, come on, not again. Isn't this the 6th proposal I've shown you? What's your issue this time?
It's a bit hard to put into words, but the design still doesn't look quite right to me.
Uh-oh.
I have to say, that's a terribly vague and unconvincing explanation. Please enlighten me. What would feel more right to you?
For starters, don't you think this roof is jutting out a bit too far from the top? It looks almost like the head of a fungus. This door, too. I don't think it needs to be nearly this large. If you could reduce it to around my height, you could use the leftover materials to construct a few more rooms.
Oh, he wants more bang for his buck. He's not here for the stylistic choices.
Roof and the door are the most fundamental parts of a building. If we were to change them, then what would be left of the design? Even if the soul of the building won't be lost, all traces of architectural style would be gone. Anyone with the slightest inkling of architectural knowledge would know to leave them alone.
Oh, I understand the principles of what you are saying, of course, but the truth remains that I'm still a bit unhappy with the design as is. Is there anything else that you can do?
That seems like a bit nitpicky.
Oh, actually, I just got an idea. Can we get rid of all the extraneous sections on the roof, so the whole design will just be one vertical structure, similar to that of a tree trunk?
So he wants like a skyscraper type situation, but not tall.
What?
Don't architects often say that symmetry makes everything more balanced and pleasing to the eye? This way, the proportions will be completely balanced.
And boring.
I really don't know how you managed to come up with such a ridiculous idea. Wait, don't tell me. Someone hired you specifically to commission me and put me through the ringer? Come to think of it, though, I really don't think I've gotten on anyone's bad side recently.
Oh, poor Kaveh.
Anyway, that's it. I will not be working on this commission anymore. Goodbye. Maybe you can find yourself some other genius who'll be able to satisfy your demands.
Hey, young man, please wait! Oh.
Kaveh needs a hug. Kaveh needs a hug. We gotta go hug Kaveh. Kaveh looks like he's in a bad mood. I should go check up on him and give him a hug. Poor Kaveh. Do people really hire people just to troll him like that? I hope not. That would suck. It's messing with somebody's livelihood.
Taking this commission was truly the worst decision ever. Oh, hey. I wasn't expecting to run into you here. Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing here at the tavern? Don't listen to anyone who says that drinking is an elegant pastime. It's no good for your health.
We saw you arguing with somebody just now, and we were concerned.
So you saw all that, did you? Ugh, I thought I was in the clear. I made sure to double-check that nobody I knew was around. Anyway, thanks for looking out for me. Honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm used to it by now. Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, I'll have a glass of wine. Same as last time.
I can empathize with the stress thing. I think everybody who is an adult who has a job can empathize with the stress thing.
Do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
We all know you can't afford it. Oh, okay, we'll have a glass of juice. Hopefully that's cheap.
Wine in a glass of juice, coming right up.
I know you're already keeping a secret from me, but if you could add this one to the list as well, I'd really appreciate it. Arguing with a client is not a good look for me. If word gets out, other potential clients might be afraid to work with me.
We got you, Kaveh.
That guy, though. What was he even going on about? All those ridiculous demands of his? He's just a blabbering fool trying to act like a know-it-all.
Don't we all seem a bit more honest once we've had some wine? I mean, I know me, I turn into a goblin. Like, I can't drink. I turn into a goblin. I'm over here, like, making all kinds of weird sounds and stuff. Fussing at people, throwing things. Nah, I can't drink. I get loud.
Another glass, please, boss. I'm not leaving today till someone has to carry me out.
I thought you just said this wasn't an elegant pastime.
You've got it, sir. I gotta say, though, it almost feels like you're saying that every other day now.
Uh-oh, Kaveh's got a drinking problem, guys.
It really is every other day that you'd run into a client who knows nothing about construction requirements or architectural style. If this was in the past, I'd never have gone through 6 whole drafts trying to accommodate the client's preferences. But perhaps getting used to this just means that I've grown numb to it. I've worked on so many projects since graduation, and none of them have been approved at the first pass. I would spend a lot of time altering my designs, and by the time the clients were finally satisfied, all my passion and enthusiasm would be gone. It feels like I'm straying further and further from my artistic vision with every change I have to make.
Yeah, it would feel that way. I mean, you come up with this thing, you pour your heart and soul into it, and then they're like, oh, but change this. And then, oh, change that. And then, oh, but I don't like this thing that is the entire purpose around the design. Yeah, I could see that. I could see how that would be soul-sucking work.
I suppose, though, that just sticking to your guns and completely disregarding other people's feedback would also not be a good thing. All of this makes for a real paradox, one that particularly crops up in my work, too. In the end, what is the true meaning of art? Should I see it as a divine gift of inspiration from the gods, or an expression of the light of my own wisdom?
Here's your drink. How are you already spouting nonsense after just one glass? Your tolerance is usually much better than that.
I think it's frustration.
Boss, what do you think is the meaning of art?
The meaning of art? Really, my friend, who in Sumeru understands art better than you?
Right?
Anyway, I don't know about art, but I do know that I'm interested in business, and some patrons are waiting to be served. So, you'll have to excuse me for now. Just holler if you need anything.
What do you think, traveler?
Let's see. Art is something that resonates with the masses? Honestly, no idea. Or something that embodies the creator's efforts and dedication. I think it's something that embodies the creator's efforts and dedication. I also think that it could be a collaborative effort between the creator and the intended purchaser. So we'll go with that.
Exactly. So our thoughts on the meaning of art are rather similar. In Sumeru, and especially Sumeru of the past, the arts are not a popular discussion topic. Trying to talk about the arts is basically the key to killing any conversation. It's too bad that I'm not in my best form today. Otherwise, we could have talked about this for a little longer.
Kaveh still looks pretty dejected. He's pretty sad. And even wine didn't help his mood, because alcohol is a depressant. Fun fact for you guys. Whatever emotion you are feeling at the time you decide to drink is the emotion that will be enhanced. So if you're happy, go ahead, have a glass. But if you're depressed, it's probably not the best option. Drink some water, go touch some grass, and just try to do something that you enjoy at the moment, and hopefully things will get better. I know it's not the best advice, but it's what I'm going with right now, because Lord knows we need it. So let's see how we can help cheer up Kaveh, now that he's 3 sheets to the wind. Simple suggestions seem like what I just did, so I'm going with it. Let's try to convince the client to come to his side.
Thanks for offering, but you've seen how he is. He's not going to listen to anything I say.
I think he could be persuaded.
He understands nothing about my design, and all the suggestions he made were as if he just wanted to mock me.
I don't think he was intentionally trying to be difficult. He seemed like he was a bit confused and wanted to sound like he knew what he was talking about, even if he didn't.
Okay, it is possible that I was just jaded by my frustration. Well, given I'm already on my 6th draft, I can probably push myself to make a 7th. Let's go have another talk with him. I know where we'd be able to find the guy. There's no time to waste. The wine can wait until another time. I'll go take care of the bill.
Please do. And you're cut off. Let's go ahead and throw Kirara on our party. I want to run around in the kitty cat box. Pardon me, Nahida.
All expenses paid travel? Count me in.
Anytime. Oh my goodness. Tell me that's not the cutest thing ever. Oh my goodness. I love her! That was so awesome. Okay. Woo! All the way down to Port Ormos.
Kaveh, what are you doing here?
I've changed my mind. I was overreacting earlier. Can we try discussing the project some more?
My apologies as well. Now that I think about it, some of my requests were indeed a bit unreasonable.
Do you think?
If I choose you to create the design for my project, I should have a bit more faith in your vision.
Thank you for understanding. Mutual trust is the basis for good communication. Now that we've got that out of the way, I think we can have a more productive conversation. To be perfectly honest, your commission request has been the most peculiar one I've ever received. Even now, I still know nothing about the building's intended purpose. All I know is that you want to build something in the desert for public use.
That's pretty vague.
I am aware that overly specific requests will restrain the architect's artistic freedom. However, knowing nothing about the intended purpose of the building also means I have no idea if I'm on the right track. I've produced several draft proposals for you to choose from, and you've rejected every single one. If we don't get on the same page, it could be a decade before we can finally break ground on this project.
That is true.
Yes, I've given this some thought already. I think we can go with the general direction of the latest proposal that you just showed me. It's just...
Just what?
Putting the building design aside, can we get some less expensive materials for the floor tiles? Yeah, I know someone in the business, and the red bricks he sells can go for pretty cheap. The timber here as well. We should be able to find some substitutes.
Oh, he's low on funds. That's why he keeps... Okay, this is making sense now.
Please give me a moment. My head's starting to hurt again. Just please hold on for a second. So, let me get this straight. You want to reduce the cost of the project, right? But if we implement your suggestions, then I'm afraid we have to scrap the entire design. Architectural design cannot be neatly split into discrete parts. Any change to one part of the design will affect the quality of the whole thing. I decided to utilize high-end timber for this section because the weight-bearing structure requires the supporting materials to be durable and strong.
Okay.
Same with the tiles. Switch them out and the entire mural will have to be redesigned. More importantly, if we make such a change, both its practical functionality and aesthetic value will take a great hit. If all you need is a building with a roof that can keep people dry in the rain, You shouldn't have commissioned me. Many architects would be able to build you one of those while charging far less in commission fees.
Oh, that's true. Kaveh's got to be pricey.
Actually, Please tell me, are you absolutely sure that there's no room for any changes in this draft of the design?
I think the most important thing for me is to understand what you would actually like to get. If you could tell me more about your vision, I might be able to work with the design some more. You are the client, after all. You should have the final say on how the project turns out.
I want to build something unique. Something quiet and warm inside. A refuge that can block out the world outside. I want all who enter this building to be able to temporarily forget everything that's going on outside of the building and just focus on their task at hand.
Okay. So he's wanting a, like, getaway type of a feel.
That's a bit more information than last time, but it's still extremely vague. To put it another way, every rich person who wants to build a mansion for themselves would request something like this. We've gone through many proposals, and this draft is already the cheapest one. Cutting costs by substituting building materials will not only detract from the overall effect of the building, it also won't save you much more in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Thank you for giving it so much thought. Please give me some more time to mull over the budget. I'll get back to you once I've figured out a solution.
Okay, so he was low on funds, and that's why he was having all the issues. And it wasn't because he was trolling Kaveh.
I still have a few business meetings that I must attend, so I'm afraid I'll have to leave for now. You can just leave the proposal as is. I'll get in touch once I've given it some more thought.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like he's hiding something.
I also have a similar feeling.
Should we follow him and see if anything unusual comes up?
Is that really okay? I mean, what he does now is none of our business.
But we're nosy, Kaveh.
He does seem really suspicious, though. He dresses like a rich person, but when you talk to him, he hardly sounds the part.
He sounds super frugal.
That's actually pretty common. Not all rich people are spendthrifts. Many are just, as if not more, stingy than him. The more mora some people have, the more they love interfering with people's lives. Like constantly reminding you to pay back your debts, or hinting every other day that it's time for you to pay rent.
I think that's some Alhaitham shade.
Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure this person really wants to work on this project with me. Putting his vague requests aside, he's still finding excuses to procrastinate even when we've decided on a plan.
Oh, that is true. That is kind of sus.
Who knows how long construction will take if he keeps delaying things like this? We should find him again and get some clearer answers. The sooner we can break ground on this, the better.
I hope we get to see the final project, if there is a final project.
Huh? Where did he go? I could have sworn he went this way. Let's keep looking. Oh, hey, look! Isn't that Badawi? It sure looks like him, but he's dressed completely different now. What is he up to?
Didn't I tell you before? I'm not looking for more workers. Plus, aren't you a bit old for physical labor? If something happens to you, I won't be able to pay for it.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. I grew up as an Aramite mercenary and worked in the desert my entire life. My body's still in great shape. If you need someone to unload goods or drive away sumpter beasts, I'm your man.
You used to be an Aramite mercenary?
I know there are a lot of bad apples in our ranks, but most are just trying to make a living. We're not that greedy by nature, and we'll do our best when given a job.
Let me think. I'm sorry, but I still can't take you in. I don't have any open positions right now, and don't have the Mora for anything more. How about this? Why don't you try your luck somewhere else?
Okay.
He used to be a member of the Aramites? Huh. From the way he was dressed, I would have thought he was a merchant from the rainforest. Let's ask him about it.
Okay. Let's go ask some questions.
We meet again.
Huh? Why are you guys here?
That's what we wanted to ask you. Who are you? Why did you dress up like a merchant to talk to me about our project? There's no need for us to continue this project if you still want to keep hiding things from us. I don't work with individuals I can't trust.
Believe me, I didn't have any bad intentions. It's just... All right, there's no point hiding anything anymore. The building I'm trying to commission you for is not really a personal residence for me, but rather a library for children living in the desert.
A
Oh my
library?
gosh, that's so sweet.
Funded entirely by yourself. Shouldn't this be the responsibility of the academia?
That is a good question. Why wouldn't the academia fund something like that? Pardon the coughing. I had some tea go down the wrong pipe.
I've heard that the academia will be looking to prioritize the desert with the allocation of educational resources and materials. It sent over a large shipment of regular goods just last month.
You're right, and I was aware of these happenings as well. I just figured what I want to do is a separate effort from what's already being done by the academia. The desert is too vast. Even if the academia spends a lot of effort trying to disseminate knowledge in those parts, it might still take decades, if not centuries, to reduce the educational gap that already exists between the two regions.
Wow. That kind of hits home here in the US, doesn't it? Oof.
And what's more, I don't know if the academia would ever reverse its stance in the future. All I know is that as a desert dweller, we should not wait passively for good things to happen to us. If we only did that, we'd never be able to stand up and hold our heads high. I don't have much longer left on this world, so I just want to use whatever time I have to contribute something to my homeland.
Yeah, why didn't you just tell us that from the beginning? I don't see the reason for lying about something so altruistic.
I didn't want you to know that I came from the desert. I've lived in the desert my entire life, and there wasn't anyone here that I could trust. I figured I needed as much safety as I could get.
To the point that you even disguised your identity? That's certainly taking playing it safe to the next level. Hold on. Don't tell me you've also been scammed before.
Probably.
When I first came to Sumeru City, I brought a lot of Mora, hoping to find an architect that I could work with. Someone agreed to take on the project, and even took a sum of Mora from me, but then disappeared without a trace.
Oh, those D-bags.
After that, I heard that there are a lot of untrustworthy people in this business. Some would run as soon as they've been paid, while others would deliberately use expensive materials and take a cut of the construction funding. I spent a while collecting information in the city, and eventually learned that you're the most famous architect and all of Sumeru.
And
I
still
figured
somehow
that
broke.
you wouldn't need to make Mora by scamming people, so I decided to reach out to you. By the way, how did you know I was scammed? I don't think I've ever mentioned that to anybody.
Just a hunch. A while ago, I accepted an offer to work on a project in the desert, and was also scammed out of a large sum of Mora. I ran into someone who was living in a pretty run-down house. I noticed a load-bearing wall on the verge of collapse, and suggested that I build a new house for him. He said that he had no way to pay for it, so I loaned him some of my own Mora, and told him to get some stone and timber from the local vendors. Soon after that, I found out that he had gone gambling with all the money, and lost everything, down to the last coin.
Oof. So that's why Kavehs broke all the time.
And after that, he even borrowed Mora from me twice more, using a different excuse each time. I didn't even suspect him of any wrongdoing until he hired a group of mercenaries and tried to ambush me in his own house. According to him, I looked like an easy target because I was an academia scholar who didn't have any family or friends in the desert. What kind of person would just look at someone else and think, this guy looks like an easy target?
Somebody who's not a good person?
Those kinds of things do happen every once in a while, yes. Folks like him are the exact reason why us desert dwellers' reputation have gone down the drain. I must apologize to you on their behalf.
It's all right. You were also scammed by someone from Kasharwar, after all. I should apologize to you on their behalf. Ultimately, neither of our experiences had anything to do with the desert or the rainforest. People who are new to an area are always easy targets for criminals.
Yeah, bad people are everywhere. I mean, it's just part of it.
Yeah, you'll find both good and bad people everywhere. I can't understand the logic of those who like to take advantage of others, but I have to accept their existence as a fact of life. Anyway, I digress. Let's return to the topic at hand. Did you keep rejecting my designs because you thought I was deliberately using expensive materials to take a cut as a middleman?
That's what I was afraid of initially, yes. I eventually understood that you weren't out to cheat me. But unfortunately, I still don't have nearly enough Mora to pay for the design you proposed. I've done the math, and know that we should be able to make it if we cut some corners. However, after our conversations, I can see that you're passionate about your design, and I'm quite fond of the proposal as well. So, I decided to try and see if I can afford your proposal as is. I've been looking for work every day, and in another month, I should be able to cobble together enough Mora to meet the budget.
By cobble together, you mean you're going to spend your entire life savings on this project? But then, what will you do if something unexpected comes up, and you find yourself stuck with no emergency fund?
See, that's a great point. I mean, a lot of people, when they're looking at building a home or something like that, or at least from what I've seen on, like, you know, House Hunters or what have you, they go, like, over what they say their max budget is, and then they end up not having money to survive on. And that's something that you really have to take into consideration whenever you're looking at moving or what have you. Yeah, okay, you can afford it, but can you afford it and still live?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about that. I mean, when you've lived to be my age and something happens, you can't really call it unexpected anymore. All I want is to build this library before I leave this world, so that the children of the future would have some books to read, and the desert dwellers would be able to learn their letters and pick up some practical knowledge.
He does seem really passionate about this project.
A while ago, I heard that the academia had decided to recruit a number of exceptional children from the desert. Of course, this is welcomed news. But as someone who's spent their entire life in the desert, I still have a few concerns.
I have a lot of concerns with that. I mean, okay, yeah, They're grabbing the best and brightest from the desert, but then they're taking the best and brightest from the desert, leaving the rest of the children without the educational needs that they have. It also means that, okay, yeah, eventually those people might return to the desert, but while they're at the academia, they're going to be developing a life and network and making friends, putting down roots while they pursue their education, and they're less likely to return to the desert and therefore help everybody reach their level, kind of. You know what I mean?
I know the desert life and can predict what the problems will be. Many children from the desert have had neither the interest nor the proper environment to learn. So even if the academia would take them in, once they enter the halls, they might find themselves surrounded by other children who look and act very differently from them. And as a result, they might become socially isolated.
Yeah, that is another very real risk of the current academia's plan.
Yes, I can imagine that. My father passed away at an early age. Even though I had a good number of friends during my years at the academia, for some time I still sensed many critical looks in my direction. I'm sure a child coming all the way from the desert will have an even harder time. But let's bring this back to the building itself. I think you said that you want this building to be quiet and warm, with its doors serving as a solid barrier to block out the sound and fury outside, and allow one to focus on the book in their hands. Building it according to the current plan will be quite costly. Even if I don't charge you any commission fees, I don't think we'd be able to keep it under your budget. Any ideas on what we can do?
I can go cut wood. Oh, that's a great question. I bet he could get sponsorship for this project.
Sponsor the project? You mean convince wealthy merchants to join our cause and pool their money together to build the library?
Oh, yeah.
Does make sense. A library is a big project, and it's going to be hard to fund it with just a single person's mora.
I mean, if the budget's already strapped just the building, wouldn't we also need books, faculty, the whole 9 yards?
What do you think? If we can find others to sponsor the project, we could potentially increase the size of the building 2- or 3-fold.
It's all fine with me, but where do you think we'll be able to find these sponsors?
Well, you're right. If I really think about it, I'm not too familiar with many big-name merchants.
Dory!
Her? Hard pass. With her shrewd and greedy personality, she would never put Mora into something like this.
But she knows people.
Now there's an idea. She probably won't say no if all she'll need to do is to make some introductions instead of spending Mora.
Right, see?
Let's go and pay her a visit.
Let's go see Dory. Let's go see Dory. Travel time. Back to the city. Nope, not the city. I just have to run around as the kitty cat. It's too cute. Look at it. Oh, little Tobies. Oh, she's so cute. Ah, she's so cute. Hi there, Dory.
Oh, now here are some unexpected guests. What brings you to the Palace of Alcazarzare?
Alcazarzare. I think that's the first time I've heard that pronounced, and now it makes perfect sense. Alcazarzare.
When I saw Kaveh, I almost thought it must be that time of month again. Sadly for me, I must wait a few more days before I can collect my shiny Mora.
Oh, you're the one he owes money to. No wonder he was like, no, not Dory.
Hey, can't you think of something else for a change? You are literally living in an objet d'art, and yet your mind is still fixated on nothing but Mora? What is the point of wealth, anyway? Is your happiness entirely dependent on your hoard of cold, emotionless Mora?
That's exactly right. Mora is extremely valuable, you see. If you don't keep your mind on it, your Mora may just find its way to somebody else's pockets.
Oh, her relationship with money is very unhealthy.
If you ask me, this place is still way too empty. Just give me some time and I'll fill it to the brim with lots and lots of Mora.
You're hopeless.
Oh, so you have an actual reason to visit me? All right, let's hear it.
We would like to ask for your help in introducing us to some other merchants.
Merchants? Why? Is there some kind of business opportunity? Oh, I see. So you're just looking for someone to help you foot the bill.
Yes. Yes, somebody to help foot the bill.
I knew you wouldn't be interested in something like this. Still, you wouldn't refuse just making some introductions for us, would you?
Sure, I can connect you with some folks, but with every service comes a fee, you know.
Uh-oh.
A fee? You mean just for introductions?
Of course! Making introductions means using my connections and putting my reputation on the line. Why wouldn't I charge a fee for something so important?
Can't you just do it for a tax write-off?
And since we've known each other for so long, though, I'll give you a huge returning customer discount. How about 500,000 Mora?
500,000? I guess that's okay. But why are you charging a fee before we've even secured any funding? That just doesn't seem right.
I completely agree, Kaveh. I completely agree.
Besides, by helping us out, you'd be doing a great service to the public. Can't you take your mind off your Mora even for just 1 second and focus on something far more important?
Very well. Since you're so passionate about this project, I'll help you out and waive the introduction fees.
Thank you.
3 of my business partners came by earlier today to discuss some things with me, and they still haven't left yet. I'll arrange a meeting for you, and just so we're clear, it'll be up to you to present your project and discuss any deals.
We got that part.
Thank you so much.
You can wait here. I'll bring them over to you.
Let's get funding. Oh, I love her little row.
Dory gave us a brief introduction about the two of you. You are Kaveh, the renowned architect, and you are the traveler. Practically all of Teyvat has heard of you by now.
Darn right they have. I've saved the world like 4 times.
To be frank, I don't feel like there's an obvious business opportunity here. But since Dory took the time to introduce you, we can spend some time to have a conversation. So, let's hear your idea.
Let's talk tax write-off.
All right, here's the situation. I've been commissioned to build a library in the desert, with the intended goal of allowing the desert dwellers to have more access to reading materials.
So it's a public welfare project?
Yes.
Correct.
Then the commission fees will likely be very low. You should be careful.
I'm not too concerned about how much I'll get for the commission fees, actually. I'm fine with doing it for free. I just want to get this project rolling as soon as possible. We're just a little short on funding.
So what? You can't possibly expect that we just cover the shortfall for you. Besides, what does a library in the desert have to do with us? If you want to build it yourself with your own Mora. Seems simple enough to me.
Hey, there's no need to be so harsh. They are Dory's associates after all. Here, can you tell us a bit more about what we can gain from sponsoring this project?
Ah, yes, the opportunity to expand your business into the desert would probably be Nice. I mean, free advertisement. Well, it's not free. You're helping fund the library. But, you know, the advertisement would be there for a long time.
So we'd mostly be doing it for reputation and exposure? There is some value to that. It could make doing business in the desert a bit easier.
Exactly. Bridging that gap.
Well, just speaking for myself, I've got nothing in the desert.
Yet. You could.
I also have a concern. It feels like there's not much to profit from in the short term. But in the long term, the reputation gain also doesn't sound like it'd offset the cost of the sponsorship.
Then how about this? What if, instead of building a single library, we commit to an entire complex of buildings dedicated to culture and education?
Ooh, there we go. Let's have a campus.
Wouldn't that just cost more?
Yes, but in that case... Mr. Kaveh, please tell us what you have in mind.
I'll just give an example. If we were to build a library and a school near Aru Village, then the desert dwellers would gradually begin to migrate towards the area. A whole suite of buildings will be able to host more traffic, and thus drive the economic development of the entire area. In turn, that would lead to direct business opportunities.
Right?
I've been to the desert several times. Although there are still many lingering tensions between the two regions, the amount of interaction has been steadily increasing, and in the long term, the desert will only become more and more important to Sumeru.
You do have a point.
Come on, give us your money.
Education in the desert is indeed an industry that has not been tapped into. If we can be the first to place stakes in the area...
And you just believe anything he tells you?
Even the greenest amateurs know that urban planning will affect population flow. If you don't believe me, you can ask anyone on the street to confirm it to you.
See, Kaveh's in his element. Kaveh is in his element. He is rocking this.
You...
Please, only ask questions that are relevant to the discussion.
Wait, something just occurred to me. If we're going to build a library in the desert, Aru Village would obviously be the best place for it. But it seems we're not the only ones with our eyes on the village. I heard a rumor a while back saying a lot of land and buildings in Aru Village have already been secretly purchased by a big-name merchant.
Oh.
What?
What?
In other words, if we try to join the fray now, there won't be much left for us. If we want to build a suite of buildings focused on education and culture, Aru Village is the prime location. If we want to build it anywhere else, we'll have to deal with a far larger list of problems. It's not impossible, I suppose, but...
Then there's no hurry. We can wait for Aru Village to develop more first and get into the market for expansion to other areas.
But if you were to do that...
Is there nothing else to discuss? Great timing! I pretty much heard all I want to hear. If there are no other urgent matters, I'll be on my way.
He's sus. Tipu is sus.
I'll be off as well. If you have any new ideas, please feel free to reach out.
It seems like the others are not interested in funding this, so no point in me doing this on my own. Let's revisit this another time.
Dang it.
Hey, guys, wait! Well, what can I say? I guess it went somewhat as expected. They are Dory's friends, after all. As soon as they heard that there's not much more in this for them, they lost all interest.
Some people are just a little greedy.
Yeah, it's just another day doing business with people. But I can never get used to that. Those people never think of anyone other than themselves.
Right?
Looks like we'll have to figure out some other way to get the funding. Let's go.
We've got this. We'll figure it out.
How did the meeting go? I want to talk about it. question go from earlier, I take it you weren't able to find a sponsor for your project?
No, we were not.
Please don't tell me that you're here to mock us.
What kind of person do you take me for? Would the kind and generous Lord Sangama Bay really do such a thing? I will say, though, I more or less expected this outcome even before I introduced them to you.
Well then, why didn't you warn us?
You can try to talk up the project all you want, but the facts will remain the same. This project is high investment with slow returns. No sane person would put their money into this.
But this isn't just a business project, right? Also, if you already knew no one would want to partner with us, why did you still try to charge me 500,000 mora? You scammer!
You might want to remember who your creditor is before you start talking like that, Kaveh.
I'll pay back every last coin that I still owe you, but that's a completely different matter.
Alright, since you're so devastated about this, I'll set you up for dinner with another big-name merchant. In fact, I'll be inviting the most famous merchant in all of Sumeru, so I'll be counting on your performance.
Dinner with Dory.
What? Really? I would like to sincerely apologize for my attitude just now. So, where would we be meeting this merchant?
Follow me. Oh, I suppose both of you can come.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being invited along as an afterthought.
I just wish that some people would actually do their jobs.
At least we're not having to go far for dinner.
This is the place.
You said you're going to introduce us to the most famous merchant in Sumeru. Well, where are they?
You still don't get it, huh? The most famous merchant in Sumeru
Is Dory.
Huh? So you meant yourself all along? Then why did you bring us here?
Well, I've given it some thought, and that complex of education and culture buildings that you mentioned does hold some promise. It'll be a pretty big Mora sink, and I'll have to fund it all on my own, but that's not really a problem for me.
Seriously? Where's this generosity coming from so suddenly? Are you trying to scam me again?
Oh, she's not trying to scam you. Dory cares about people. Maybe. I think.
The reasons are not important. What's important is that I'm willing to help you. However, you know just as well as me that once this project actually breaks ground, it'll start sucking Mora from my pockets like crazy. So, to cut costs...
I get it, I get it. I won't charge any commission fees, and I'll take responsibility for the entire project.
Splendid! Then let's sign the contract right away.
That was a rush. Dory prepares 2 contracts? That quick?
This way, the children of the desert will have some books to read. Their lives should improve a bit after this.
You seem rather pleased.
Of course, there are a few things better than using my knowledge to help other people change their fates. I must thank you as well, Dory. I used to say you only cared about Mora, which might have been some prejudice on my part. Sorry for that. I will also try to pay back my debts as soon as possible. Now, let's have a quick discussion. Where would you want the library to be built? That will be the most important building.
There's no rush. I'll provide you with a copy of the deed when we get back. You can just use the address on the document to find the lot.
Oh my gosh. Dory's the person buying up all of the properties in our village. We should have saw that coming. I should have seen that coming. You guys probably saw that coming, but I did not.
Huh? The deed? So hold on a sec. The person who has been buying up everything around Aru village was you all along?
Yep.
Oh my. Did I not tell you about that? Yep, yours truly has been buying up all the land. I must thank you for bringing your ideas to me. Before our conversation, I had no idea what to build on all those lots. So, from my perspective, this has been a great turn of events. I didn't put much in and easily got a lot in return.
But what about my commission fees?
Oh, poor Kaveh.
Huh? Didn't you waive those yourself? I was just gonna say that to cut costs. We mustn't procrastinate and should start construction as soon as possible.
Oh my gosh. She did scam him, kind of.
But before I could finish my sentence, you volunteered to waive your commission fees and even promised to take responsibility for the whole project from start to finish. I am so touched, really.
It's obvious that you used every trick in the book to deceive me. You deliberately paused for a long time while talking about the project and kept glancing at me with that menacing look in your eyes.
Huh? You really think so? Well, the contract's already been signed, so there's no point in dwelling on the details. You know what? I'll pay for tonight's dinner.
Well, at least she did that.
Fine, I'll drop the argument on the commission fees. But since you said you're paying for dinner, I'm going to order the best dishes and booze this place has to offer, and lots of it. Tonight, we're feasting until I've recouped my full commission fees.
That's a lot of to-go plates. Ah, that's awesome. Always have to save the screenshots. That was too sweet.
I'll ever be able to create something so incredible.
Do we want to play through an alternate ending? I think we should play through an alternate ending. Let's see. Let's go over here. Woo! Primos! Okay, so here's where we can fork off and go a different route. We went this route. And there's one alternate line here we can go. Or do we just want to play through it a completely different time with a completely different outcome and quest? I think we'll start here. Let's go find Kaveh at the tavern. I love the replayability of the Hangout quests. It makes it so much more interesting, and you get to learn so much more about the characters than you would through a single linear quest. So, poor Kaveh sad again. Let's go make it better.
Taking this commission was truly the worst decision ever.
Are you okay?
Oh, hey, I wasn't expecting to run into you here. Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing here at the tavern? Don't listen to anyone who says that drinking is an elegant pastime. It's no good for your health.
We followed you here.
So you saw all that, did you? Ugh, I thought I was in the clear. I made sure to double-check that nobody I knew was around. Anyway, thanks for looking out for me. Honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm used to it by now. Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, I'll have a glass of wine. Same as last time. Do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
Here we go with our juice box.
Wine in a glass of juice, coming right up.
I know you're already keeping a secret from me, but if you could add this one to the list as well, I'd really appreciate it. Arguing with a client is not a good look for me. If word gets out, other potential clients might be afraid to work with me. That guy, though, what was he even going on about? All those ridiculous demands of his? He's just a blabbering fool trying to act like a know-it-all.
Oh, that's a little harsh. Everybody's more honest with wine.
Another glass, please, boss. I'm not leaving today till someone has to carry me out.
You've got it, sir. I gotta say, though, it almost feels like you're saying that every other day now.
It really is every other day that you'd run into a client who knows nothing about construction requirements or
Oh, hey, thanks for
architectural
the
style.
follow.
If this was in the past, I'd never have gone through 6 whole drafts trying to accommodate the client's preferences.
Yeah, 6 drafts is a lot for a architect project.
But perhaps getting used to this just means that I've grown numb to it. I've worked on so many projects since graduation, and none of them have been approved at the first pass.
Oh.
I would spend a lot of time altering my designs, and by the time the clients were finally satisfied, all my passion and enthusiasm would be gone. It feels like I'm straying further and further from my artistic vision with every change I have to make.
Oh, hello. How are you doing this morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're at? I'm on the wrong button. Uh-oh. I'm doing great. I'm having a blast playing through Kaveh's story quest. Or a hangout quest. It's not a story quest. It's a hangout quest. But we're learning a lot more about Kaveh. Like, he has an alcohol problem. He likes the wine.
I suppose, though, that just sticking to your guns and completely disregarding other people's feedback would also not be a good thing.
No, it would not be a good thing. That's inconsiderate.
All of this makes for a real paradox, one that particularly crops up in my work, too. In the end, what is the true meaning of art? Should I see it as a divine gift of inspiration from the gods, or an expression of the light of my own wisdom?
Here's your drink. How are you already spouting nonsense after just one glass? Your tolerance is usually much better than that.
Boss, what do you think is the meaning of art?
Oh, you said he's the opposite of you. How so? How do you think he's the opposite? I'm curious.
The meaning of art? Really, my friend, who in Sumeru understands art better than you?
That is a good question. He is a pretty talented artist.
Anyway, I don't know about art, but I do know that I'm interested in business, and some patrons are waiting to be served. So, you'll have to excuse me for now. Just holler if you need anything.
Oh, I'm the same. I don't drink much either. Well, I used to back in the day, but I get too loud and I turn into a little goblin and I start throwing things and I get like too emotional. Like, a lot of people don't know that alcohol is a depressant. So whatever mood you're drinking in is the mood that gets enhanced, and that can make for a bad time if you're like sad or depressed. And that's what everybody wants to drink because they think that it's going to make them feel better, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So I get it.
What do you think, traveler?
I think you're slurring your words. Art is something that resonates with the masses. That's the one we haven't done yet, so we're gonna go with that.
Yes, art shouldn't be self-indulgent entertainment saved for the elite. Let's say that I built a house for someone. If they don't like how it looks, then no matter how brilliant it may appear to me, they won't be happy with it. The problem is that it can be very difficult to get validated by others. I could compromise my personal standards to accommodate my clients, but often that just means creating a final product that I would struggle to look at.
Nope, there's gotta be compromise here, Kaveh. Kaveh needs compromise. Kaveh still looks sad, and the wine didn't help his mood. I wonder why. How can we cheer him up? Maybe we should play it safe and just make a simple suggestion. Let's do something to clear your mind.
Sounds great to me.
Like
I don't
coffee.
even want to think about this project anymore. But what should we do? It's probably not a good idea to just drink until I pass out here.
You're right, that's not a good idea. Cookies always help. Cookies always make everything better. Cookies and, coffee. Coffee makes things better. Tea makes things better. But we definitely need to get some food on his belly to sober him up. I like the cookie suggestion. Why did you decide to become an architect? I don't think we need to derail him into thinking that he needs another career.
Huh? Where did that come from? I mean, it's not like it's some kind of secret. You probably already know some bits and pieces of my past. My mother is also an architect. I've always adored her drawings, and when I was young, I used to sit next to her and watch her bring all kinds of buildings to life on paper. You could say my interest in architecture just naturally grew with time.
You know, come to think of it, do we ever see anybody's parents in Genshin? I mean, we know that Klee has a mom, and we know that Kaveh has a mom now. But do we ever actually see people's parents other than Draf in Springvale, which is Diona's dad? That's just something I noticed. Everybody's parents are just MIA. Oh, chocolate chip cookies are amazing. Yes, I agree. Chocolate chip cookies are phenoms. Oh, I just noticed something. 1 second. Gotta make a small edit to the screen. Move this. I was wondering why I was not seeing my chat, and I just realized that it is cut in half. So bear with me as we deal with some technical difficulties. They happen. Because I pulled down from the wrong side when I was setting this up. And boom. There we go. Now we can see what we were talking about. Okay. But yeah, as far as like favorite cookies, I've got to say I like the mint chocolate chip. Little bit of spiciness. So how do we think Kaveh's mom would understand how he's feeling right now? Do we think that he could talk this issue out with his mom? We might get to see Kaveh's mom.
Perhaps. In fact, I have also seen my mother argue with her clients, but she would always quickly find the motivation to return to her work.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I've barely had any contact with her since she remarried and moved abroad. Even if I wanted to ask her about her ability to stay positive after an argument, it would seem rude to barge into her life again over something as trivial as that.
I don't think that's trivial at all. Parents want to hear from their kids usually. I mean, even if she has started her own new life, especially if it's something you guys bonded over, I could see, you know, it being beneficial to reach out to your parent.
I did remember something else, though. When my mother left, she only carried some small personal luggage with her. She left most of the belongings in the house to me. At the time, she even told me that it would be great if I could learn a few lessons from her life experiences, so my life and career could go a little more smoothly. I hadn't quite come to grips with my emotions, and didn't really have it in me to go through any sentimental items, so I just packed anything with memories away in a box and haven't reopened it since. It's been a really long time. Now that so many years have passed, maybe I have finally developed the maturity I need to face those memories without losing my mind. Yeah, I should dig it out and take a look.
Okay. let's go dig through his mom's old stuff.
Huh? Sorry, I've had too much to drink and wasn't thinking clearly. You're right. I should do these kinds of things with the support of a friend.
We got you.
Speaking of that, I can call you a friend now, right?
Hey, we're besties at this point.
Either way, thanks for reminding me that I can invite you to come along. Had I just gone back by myself, it would have looked like I'm deliberately trying to keep things from you.
No, I wouldn't have taken it that way. I would have thought you just needed some privacy to deal with a family issue, and I would have got that.
Ugh, thinking too hard about the words is giving me a headache, so I'll just give it to you straight. Thanks to your advice, I have decided to put my current projects on pause for now, and spend some time trying to rekindle the passion for my craft. If you want to stick around and see how this will turn out, you'll be sure to encounter some bits and pieces of my past. Do you think you'd find that too boring?
No, that is totally what we are here for. We want the lore. We want to know what makes Kaveh tick.
All right, then let's head back together. I mean, you already know where I live. Who knew that the day would come when I too would have some friends over? Let me see. I should have tidied up the place before I left the house this morning. Alhaitham shouldn't be home now either. He's usually in the records room at this time of the day. Anyway, there's no more time for drinks. I'll go take care of the bill.
And we're off to Alhaitham's house. I'll have to go dig for that later. Oh, she's so cute. I wonder if I am the only person who just wants to run around as the kitty cat forever. Oh, I ran out of kitty cat juice. And I'm going the wrong way. Oh well. Or am I? No, I was going the right way. I just convinced myself I was going the wrong way. There we go. I just climb all over everything just like a kitty cat would. Okay, I thought it was leading us up here. It was. I love her little toe beans. Only 3 hours? Are you a new player?
Alhaitham isn't in, so feel free to sit wherever. I'll bring out the box.
Okie dokie. What's wrong, Kaveh?
Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. The box is pretty dusty, which means it's already been a while since I've moved into this place. And many years since my mother moved to Fontaine.
Oh, you got frustrated since you wanted to play with someone and had to do everything twice. I don't know what you mean by having to do everything twice, but as far as, you know, wanting to play with people, there's a co-op function where you can try and find some friends. Also, they've got the Hoyo Lab app where you can meet people. They've got a really nice community.
I'm happy for her. I hope she'll be able to find happiness there. She raised me all by herself after my father passed away. It definitely wasn't easy for her.
Also, just another option If you do want to add me and you ever see me on and you needed help with, like, say, a boss fight or something, if you're over level 12, I think you can invite people into your world, or people can come into your world and you can send them a message and just let me know. And if I'm online or you see me on stream, I don't mind stopping to help people out with their boss fights or what have you. Mind you, I don't have the best team comp, but I could definitely help out with a lower level world. If I'm on my main account. I'd have to switch to my main account if I'm on my new account, because my new account is Tiny Bean. I don't even have a decent healer yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box. What are all these things?
Oh, this is going to be important. That looks like a map.
Oh, I remember now. This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos. Obviously, I wouldn't call it anything special now, but I was less than 5 years old when I made this drawing. That's more than 20 years ago. You could say it's pretty good for a child of that age.
Oh, baby Kaveh was an artist. That was really good for a 5-year-old. Oh, okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, how you have to, like, grind to get to a certain level before your quests progress. That can be a bit difficult. I've run into that on my new account, but I know they're doing it so that they get you to drive your exploration and level your characters before you deal with higher level content. But yeah, it can be frustrating at times.
Now that I've said that out loud, I suppose I do have some level of artistic talent, right?
You don't sound very confident, Kaveh.
Criticism and self-doubt have always been a part of the artistic process. Without criticism, there can be no improvement. It's normal for me to question my abilities from time to time. I admit that I may have spent a little too long questioning myself this time around, but as you know, the heart tends to dwell on whatever it pleases.
I do agree, this is my comfort game. I don't think I would have made it through the pandemic without Genshin Impact, if I am 100% honest. It's like you just get to... Everything else doesn't have to exist for a moment. You're in this cozy little world with little hilly troll monsters to fight, and beautiful graphics, beautiful storyline. So I'm glad that you at least get to enjoy the game through watching, because it is a beautiful game.
Anyway, never mind. The more I talk about it, the less confident I feel. Let's see what else we have in the box. Ah, my building blocks! It's been years since I've last seen these. When I was a kid, I used to stack them super high, and could even stabilize the tower to keep it from tumbling over. Oh, and this blueprint. I made it by copying my mother's sketch, and the aspect ratio was horrendous. It's still technically the first blueprint I made myself, though.
Oh.
I was super proud of myself when I finished it, and put it in the same pile as my mother's sketches, hoping she'd notice and compliment me for my good work. Unfortunately, my mother didn't realize that I had put it there. When she had a meeting with a client the next day, she handed my blueprint to him by mistake. The client was completely confused by this new blueprint, but apparently he felt too tongue-tied to question such a famous architect.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute.
It was only a few days later that he finally gathered up the courage to pay my mother a visit. He asked, "The door in this blueprint is even taller than the roof. Is this supposed to be part of the design?" My mother took me with her to personally apologize to the client several times. She didn't scold me about it in private, though. Instead, she went over all the steps required to draw a good blueprint, and was very patient throughout the whole process. I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, he needs to reach out to his mom.
Let's see, is there anything else left in this box? Huh. What was this again? Ah, this is my mother's notebook. She used to write and sketch in it all the time. When I was a child, I used to be super fascinated by this notebook, and always pestered my mother to let me read it. After asking her a few times, she told me that I could read it as long as I could guess the password. Huh. Wonder why she didn't take this notebook with her. Did she leave it to me on purpose?
You could open it and take a look.
If only I could. I never managed to guess the password. Hey, it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of inspiration. That's what we need to guess the password.
Maybe that's the password.
Who knows? Maybe this time something will click in my head, and the answer will just present itself. Let me think. What
Parents
could
are
it
known
be?
to use names and birthdays. Probably a combination of the two.
I could tell what you were thinking. Don't worry, I tried all the easy guesses a long time ago. I've tried
Okay.
my name, my father's name, my mother's name, my grandparents' names on both sides, and all of our birthdays. I've tried every name and number remotely related to my family.
What about the name of your Darshan?
I've even tried stuff like Love You Kaveh, Take Care, and Yours Truly. I've tried every cheesy phrase and well-wish in the book, but this lock has refused to budge. I wouldn't try that route again. I have a hunch that it won't be that simple. Also, if she really did use something like that, she'd never hear the end of it from the folks over at Haravatat if they ever found out.
Then maybe we should try asking an old acquaintance?
So we could find someone who was close to my mother and see if they might know anything? I see what you're saying, but who should we talk to for that? My mother was never really the one to be social. My father was the one with more friends, but all those connections were severed when he died. Let me think. Is there still someone at the academia who would know my mother? Ah, actually, there is someone. Professor Zaha Hadi.
Okay, let's go find Professor Zaha.
Huh, you've never really heard of her? She's a famous Kasharwar scholar and leading expert in formal garden design. My mother studied under her as a student many years ago.
Okay.
Professor Zaha Hadi published many works during her career, so I was able to learn a lot by studying her essays. If there's anyone who still remembers my mom, it'd be her. She's older now and is no longer teaching at the academia. But if I remember correctly, she spends most of her time around the Bimarstan area. Let's go take a look. We might run into her if we're lucky.
Okay, let's go take a look. We're off to the academia. Here we go. Oh, wait. Wrong door. And kitty cat. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Oh, it meows. At least they're in town. We're not gonna have to travel out.
What am I supposed to do
Tainari!
now? Forget it. I'll just head back.
Tainari, what are you doing here?
Oh, it's you. Good to finally see you again.
Yay, it's Nari.
I came into the city to buy some experiment reagents, hoping to bring them back with me to Gandharvaville. But as soon as I got here, I noticed someone banging on Cyrus's door. You've all heard of Cyrus, right? He's an ex-sage and Sino's adoptive father. I was thinking about going over to ask what's happening. That granny over there may appear old and frail, but her vocal cords certainly sound loud and healthy as ever.
Oh,
Granny?
Yeah, she's just over there. You can go check out the situation yourselves in a moment.
somebody yelled at Tainari.
Kaveh, were you at the tavern?
Yes, he was. I'll rat you out. I don't mind.
I had a quick drink or two. Can you still smell the alcohol?
Drinking in broad daylight. Really? You want to pass out by the road and get run over by a sumpter beast like some mindless fungus, huh? And you, traveler? You didn't try to stop him?
He was already in the process when we got there.
You look like a wreck, Kaveh. What happened? Are you feeling down again? You know what? I'm hosting a meal at Pardistii tomorrow evening. Do you want to come?
Of course.
Huh? Oh, I had no idea. Let me think for a moment. I'll come if I can find some time.
You've got the time.
All right. Then I'll plan on reserving 2 seats for you. I'll be heading back to Gandharvaville for now. I have a feeling that argument over there is going to continue for quite some time. It might be best if we don't get involved.
Yeah, and don't want to butt into anybody else's business. Of Souls-like games, I don't know if I'm familiar with Souls-like games. Are you talking like Dark Souls, or...
A granny who lives nearby. Let's go take a look.
I played Dark Souls like a long time ago. I wasn't a big fan, but it was like Dark Souls, I think, 2. I don't know which one they're on now. But I haven't played Elden Ring yet. I've heard good things, and I don't think I've heard of the other one. I mostly play Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail. It's been a long time. I haven't logged into my Elder Scrolls Online account in a hot minute, but I used to do Elder Scrolls Online and Minecraft.
Okay, let's get going.
What else?
The next location on my list is really far away.
Disney Dreamlight Valley is a good comfort game that occasionally I log into. And what was the other one? Animal Crossing, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much the games that I currently play and own, other than Skyrim. But Skyrim's been out forever, so... Oh, we found the angry granny.
Ha! So, plan on keeping yourself locked in there, huh? Fine by me. If you're not going to come out, then I'm not going to leave.
Oh, that's who we were looking for. We were looking for Angry Granny.
My tomato was growing so well. It had all the potential to become the best tomato this year. And you cut it straight from the vine.
Oh, Code Vein? I'll have to look it up. Let me write that down real quick on a sticky note. Nope, that's not my sticky notepad. Yes, it is. Now, can I find a pen? My desk is a hot mess. Okay. All right, got it. Thank you for the suggestion. I'll check it out. Oh no, somebody stole her tomato.
I already told you I had nothing to do with it. Why would I take a tomato that's still weeks from ripening?
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Is it available on PC?
You'd have to be awfully green as an investigator to think it was me.
Ugh.
You see, the word green here could refer to both the color of the tomato and the fact that your skills could use some.
Oh my gosh, it's Sino's teacher. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I'll probably try to download it this weekend.
Enough nonsense! Just come out and face me, you coward!
You're out of your mind. If I've actually done something wrong, then get a matcha and pull me out by force, why don't ya?
All this over a tomato.
Oh, why you?
Professor Zahahadi?
And who are you? Oh, Kaveh. Fancy seeing you here. How long has it been? Come on, get over here and let the professor take a good look at you. Not bad, not bad. You've grown taller again. Oh.
Professor, what's going on here?
Somebody stole her tomato.
It's no big deal, really. A few of us old scholars got bored in our retirement and decided to put together a vegetable growing competition. At the end, whoever loses will have to go up on stage and do a performance for the winners.
Oh my gosh, so they're gonna have to go do something embarrassing just because they lost the competition? This sounds like something that a bunch of old friends would get together and do. That is a vibe.
Which brings us to our current predicament. My tomato was sure to win until a certain someone decided they couldn't bear to lose.
Hey, don't try to defame me in front of the kids. If we're airing out each other's dirty laundry now, then why don't we talk about you sneaking into Janat's garden the other night?
Oh, there's a lot of shade being tossed around here amongst the retired academia scholars. Okay, so it's 40 USD at the moment, but it goes on discount pretty often. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out for that, because it's getting close to the end of the month and funds are tight, just like Kavehs. Yeah, I'll add it to like my wish list on Steam, and hopefully they'll send me a notification next time it goes on sale.
Lucky for you, seeing these youngsters come to pay their respects today has put me in a better mood. I'll let you off the hook, for now. Come on, let's go. We'll take our conversation elsewhere. He doesn't need to be a part of it.
Yes, of course.
Oh no, I killed the birdie! And I cheesed off the dog. Okay, when we're a kitty cat, we can't run into animals.
Is Faranak still doing well?
Yes, as far as I know. She left for Fontaine some time ago and started a new life for herself. She's still doing work related to architecture, though.
Ah, yes. I did hear about that. Did that upset you at all?
I'm sure it did. His mom just took off, and now he doesn't have any kind of social support system. I mean, he's got Alhaitham, but I don't know if that even counts.
No, not at all. She's already sacrificed a lot raising me as a single mother.
That's good to hear. Your mother did struggle quite a bit those few years. It's probably a good thing that she found a new place to call home. Sometimes I wonder if things were harder for her because she was so beautiful. People were always drawn to her beauty first, only to realize she had a sensitive and vulnerable heart underneath.
No.
She was still quite young when she first joined my class as a student. Beautiful and radiant with her golden hair, yet quiet and single-minded. She seemed like a lass from some aristocratic house who was seeing the outside world for the first time. She had to make a lot of drastic changes in her life to raise you on her own.
That is very sad.
Even during her time in the academia, she was a thorough perfectionist. If she was unsatisfied with something she had made, she'd insist on redoing it, even if I was perfectly happy with it. She had many admirers, and they'd always fill up the first few rows of seats, hoping they could get closer to her sitting in the first row. If it were any of my other classes, you'd have found nobody sitting in the front. But every time I saw her, she was always in that same rigid pose. She'd have one hand on her forehead with the other clutching her pencil. Her eyebrows would be knitted in a frown as she concentrated on the blueprint in front of her.
Yeah, I hear that. The world would be a much more emotionally and mentally stable place if there were more mothers like that.
I'm sure she had many difficult moments in her life. How did she cope with the stress?
Now that's the key question here. How did she cope?
I'm not too sure. She never talked about such things with me. She rarely opened up to other people, you know. I do remember one time, though, when she got into a heated argument with a friend. She said something I found very memorable.
Okay, hopefully it's the password.
She said, "True art cannot be understood, but as an artist, I wish some people could understand its meaning and value."
Okay, that would be a very long password, but it is a very true phrase.
If you ask me, that's probably the greatest source of pain for geniuses of their craft. It's extremely hard for them to find someone who can truly understand their ideas.
So that's how it is. I wonder if the password could be...
Understanding? That seems... Actually, both of these seem like valid responses here. I think we'll go with understanding because it's been said so many times.
I tried both just now. Seems those aren't it either.
Oh well.
What are you trying to do?
My mother left her notebook to me, but it has a password and I haven't figured out what it is yet. I'm trying to learn more about her so I'd have a better chance at cracking the code. Thank you for all that you told us.
I would say they are very similar in the same context. Understanding is kind of more unspoken, I feel, whereas acknowledgement means that you're actually getting that you know, pat on the back, or, you know, I see your efforts and it's being verbalized, whereas understanding can be something that's not verbalized. I think that's the key difference there, but that's just my take on it. It could be completely subjective.
It's the least I can do. Talking to youngsters like yourself makes me feel younger, too. Honestly, looking at you now, I can see how much you resemble her. It's almost as if she's standing right in front of me again. Your personalities are quite alike, too. You're both stubborn and both a little awkward. Of course, I'm sure the similarities are mostly superficial. But so long as you continue to harbor those traits, you'll find a lot of difficulties in your work.
Oh. So being like your mom's gonna make things a little bit harder, but it does make you excel at your craft, so...
I've
we'll
taught
take
a
the win.
lot of students over my career, and in my experience, very few genius architects of Kisharawar ever found happiness for themselves.
Oh, maybe we should have asked him about the possibilities of a different career path.
They would know exactly what they want to express and fight for it tooth and nail, which inevitably led to arguments with their clients. Some clients would choose to respect the architect's vision or just let the argument go because of the architect's reputation, but those are the rare ones. When Farnak first graduated, she was getting into arguments with her clients nearly every single day. I think it only got a little better when she met your father.
Oh, because she had someone to talk to about it?
I see. But could he understand the designs my mother made?
No, I think they were probably beyond him, too. But despite that, he still stayed next to her, listening to her joys and sharing in her sorrows. Farnak had many admirers, but she ended up choosing your father. His support probably played a part in that decision.
So instead of understanding, perhaps all we need is just companionship.
Ah.
Huh. It worked.
There we go. We found the password. We answered the question.
Oh, was that the right password?
Yes!
Then you should be on your way, child. Find a quiet place and see what she wanted to say to you.
That's true. Not everybody needs you to fix their problems, but everybody needs to feel validated and like they're heard and seen. I mean, being seen and feeling people witness your struggle can sometimes be enough, and it can also provide you with the motivation to just keep trying. You know, you're like, okay, well, at least this person knows what I'm going through, so let's just keep pushing through, and if things go wrong, I at least have somebody to talk to.
Being the awkward person that she is, I suppose there were many things that Faranet could never say out loud. Instead, she probably left them in her diary, hoping that they would make their way to you one day. If you're ever in a mood to chat again, just come and find me here. You're always welcome to discuss architecture topics with me as well.
Thank you so much, Professor.
There's no need to be so formal. I'll let you kids go. It's time for me to take another stroll around the vegetable garden.
And go try to grow a new tomato.
I wonder what my mother could have written about.
Yes, being able to verbalize what you're going through can sometimes help you work out the solution all on your own. Whenever last summer I was a counselor, and the one thing that you could do best is be willing to just sit there, listen, let them talk it out, and usually they'll come to their own conclusions and work out the problem all on their own. It's just about being there to support somebody while they go through that process, because the process can be agonizing, and having somebody there to sit with you in your icky place can make it a little less difficult. Kaveh starts quickly flipping
They all
through.
say Zaha Hadid's class is the toughest, but I think it's actually not too bad. On the other hand, though, structural mechanics is definitely a pain, no matter how you try to approach it. I doubled down and managed to get through it in the end. I met someone special. At first, I didn't think much of him, but now, I feel very happy whenever I get to spend time with him.
Oh my gosh, I bet this diary is about is the time frame in which she met his father.
We decided to name our son Kaveh. I don't think a younger me would have ever imagined forming such an intimate bond with another person. Back then, I lived only in the shadow of myself, as well as that of the dream in my heart. The bad news came. And even though it's been several days now, I still can't bring myself to come to terms with what happened. My eyes are so swollen, it's hard to see. What if they're all lying to me? And this is just a long, cruel dream. But I have to face reality. I still have someone to take care of. No matter what happens, I'll do my best to raise my son on my own.
Oh. It's from before and after his father passed.
Huh? Is this a drawing? Seems like it was done by my mother.
Oh. Must be her friends? Or is it his dad and his friends?
This blonde man was probably my father, but who are the other people in the picture? Huh? Why do a few of them look somewhat familiar? From the dates in the notebook, she probably drew this more than 30 years ago. I hadn't even been born yet. Maybe we were thinking too much. Oh, there are a few lines written in the diary about this as well.
The one who invited us to the gathering is a talkative woman. Including us, 3 couples showed up. There was also a person who came alone. The talkative woman introduced everyone to each other. She spoke really quickly, so I couldn't quite catch everything she said, but I also didn't feel like asking her to repeat herself. My husband seems to be friends with the man with long ears. I couldn't really join their conversation, so I've resigned myself to sitting in a corner and drawing in my notebook. I don't think I'd be able to become friends with any of these people, especially that stiff-looking couple. That man is certainly very handsome, but he would constantly alternate between disjointed and serious ways of talking. His wife is a bit more bearable. We were not acquainted with each other to begin with, and I doubt we'll see each other again after this gathering. The ambiance of this gathering is surprisingly pleasant, however. Talking to people can allow us to find some peace after a long day. Maybe my son will also partake in these gatherings in the future. I hope he'll be able to make many friends.
Who would have thought my mother used to attend that kind of thing? It seems she was only good at talking about her own work, and found it difficult to join into other conversations. As a result, she often kept to herself and would be off to the side, drawing. There's more written on the back. Oh, it seems like it was written to me.
Kaveh. I was both overjoyed and distressed when I learned of your decision to continue your studies in Kasharawar. You are very talented, and I am confident that you will become an architect of much acclaim. However, the more talented you are as an artist, the more misery and anguish you may encounter.
So his mom knew he was going to deal with this problem.
No one will be able to help you during your journey as an artist. But outside of your life as a creator, you can learn to form connections with other people and enjoy many other things in life. It's the only way to alleviate your suffering. Whenever you feel down, seek out a friend to sit and have a chat. You can accumulate joy and fulfillment by spending time with them. The positive feelings you gain will get you through the long and difficult years. Never forget that companionship is the most important thing of all.
So that's the answer she prepared for me. She really thought long and hard about me and my future.
Most parents do.
Well, now that I've read her words, do you think I should accept Tainari's invite and attend that dinner at Pardis Di?
Yes, you should.
The thought definitely crossed my mind. Although it'd be nice to get together with friends and chat the night away, I don't want to bring down other people's moods because I'm sad. Besides, don't most people hate the feeling of seeing their friends troubled and being unable to help? And what's worse, nearly all of my problems can't be easily resolved with some encouraging words or gesture.
Okay, yeah, it makes them uncomfortable, but they want to be able to provide that support for you. Your friends aren't just there whenever it's fun and convenient to be friends. Your friends are there to be real friends. I mean, if they are real friends. They're there for you in the icky spot. They're there for you in the happy times. They're there to party. You know, they're there for it all.
And don't forget, I'm also older than all of them. As their senior, I should appear to be a bit more responsible.
Why not be relatable instead? Yeah, Tainari did see right through you, and it is normal for friends to take care of each other. So, let's just say it's normal for friends to take care of each other instead of pointing out the fact that Tainari was able to see all of his issues all over his face.
You're not wrong, but I keep feeling like I haven't really helped them much in return.
It's always fun to have you around, Kaveh.
Wait, do you mean it? You're not making fun of me, are you?
No.
I've gotten so used to sarcasm that I can't tell what's genuinely a compliment anymore. Wait, by fun, did you mean... You know what? I'm not going to overthink it. I'll see you tomorrow at Pardis Di.
We're not here to make fun of you, Kaveh. Okay, we gotta wait till after 16. Oh,
We'll see how long you can stay cooped up in
Oh, I love her little happy dance.
there.
Yeah, he is, just a little bit. He's still tipsy. He's got to recover. Oh my gosh, I just noticed that her tail made a little, her two tails made a little heart, and that is the cutest thing ever. She's so adorable. Okay, and we're off to a dinner party. Again. I think we ended up in a dinner party in the other alternate ending. So, either way, we end at dinner. Oh, it didn't give me the little kitty box. Probably because I was already running. I must have messed it up.
That's that!
So I guess you've got to hold it. Alright, I'm learning a thing. There we go, now we're a kitty box.
Alhaitham also got my invite, right? Will he be coming to join us?
Oh no, not Alhaitham.
That guy? He's never been a fan of social gatherings. I wouldn't get my hopes up if I were you.
Are you sure? All right then. I guess we won't wait for him.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, maybe we should give him a little more time. We can keep chatting for a while longer.
There you go, Kaveh. It's practice. It's gonna be awkward at first, but you've got this.
Oh, sure.
You still haven't told me, what's the occasion for getting us together here at Pardistii?
We're celebrating the end of the first phase of Kaveh's studies. I wanted to thank you all for the help you've given her along the way.
Little Kaveh.
Then where's Kaveh?
She said she wanted to show everyone a bit of what she's learned, so she's still doing some last-minute prep at home. She'll be here shortly. Anyway, let's get started. To tell you the truth, I'm actually not so confident that the second phase will go as well as the first.
Uh-oh.
The curriculum will become a lot more involved, and I'm worried that she won't be able to get through all of it. I was hoping we could brainstorm about it together before she gets here.
I knew this wouldn't be just a simple free dinner. Is that why you also invited Alhaitham?
Yes, I thought it would be good if we could all put our heads together about this. Anyway, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. What did you guys do when you ran into a problem that you didn't know how to solve? Or got assigned a project that you knew you weren't going to finish on time?
Oh, level 19. You were just about to unlock the story quest in Leo at, I think it's level 23? What characters did you have? Or who was your favorite character when you were playing?
Never happened to me.
I'd just pull another all-nighter.
That's right. Grind through, Kaveh.
You two are hopeless. Does anyone have a more useful answer to the question?
Perhaps adjust the pace of the curriculum? Oh, the fire girl with Goba, the little teddy bear. She's actually viable in endgame. She's really nice. Her ultimate sticks around even when you swap characters. So you can throw Goba, do her ultimate, and you get a lot of pyro reactions. And then you can add like some water or whatever for the elemental reaction. She's awesome on an Abyss team. Plus, she's so cute and wholesome. Her dinner is attacking her.
Ooh, that's a good point. Confidence is the most important thing. Once you lose your sense of confidence, it'll become all but impossible to find the motivation to study.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a potential direction. I have already redesigned the literacy curriculum, and I was originally hoping to ask Alhaitham for his opinion, but...
It's very simple. Instead of focusing on the amount of material you would like to teach, focus on the amount the student would be able to remember.
Wow, you actually showed up. I could probably count the number of times you've actually come to gatherings like this on just one hand.
Do we think Alhaitham's here altruistically, or do we think he's here for ulterior motives? Yeah, when you're first starting out, usually you kind of just gotta work with the characters they give you until you pull better characters, but they give you all kinds of free primos throughout chest hunting and the different domains and dailies, so that you can pull for the characters that you actually want. I was trying to think, who was... I think my first character that I mained was actually a healer, which made it kind of tough, because she was just this little cute little zombie Chi-Chi, but you couldn't do any damage. It took me forever to kill anything.
It's still more than the number of times you've managed to get a proposal approved on the first try.
As long as you're still aware. So, what made the difference this time? Are you looking to drink your sorrows away with some friends?
That's your purpose for being here, not mine. Don't project your ways of thinking onto me.
He was projecting. He was projecting there. But Alhaitham doesn't have to be so blunt with it. He doesn't have kid gloves. He threw them away a long time ago.
So you're saying the only reason you came is to help Tighnari with his brainstorming?
Precisely. Kaveh will have a long road in front of her.
Hey, just to get one thing clear. Even if Kaveh manages to make her way to the Academia, we cannot let her enroll in her Avatat. Ksharawar is obviously the best choice for her. She's been a trainee forest ranger for so long, she'll definitely be good with her hands.
Oh, does your SO play as well? That would be fun. You guys could play together.
What are you saying? Spontamad is the better choice. It's where I graduated from, after all.
Uh-oh, everybody wants Kaveh in their school.
Then what about Amorta? That's the Darshan her master actually graduated from.
To me, that makes more sense for Kaveh. She's a forest ranger. She's out there in the thick of it with all the different organisms of the forest. She should be a biology major, I would think.
There are only 2 other Darshans left. We might as well select all of them on her enrollment application.
I'm trying to have a serious discussion here. Traveler, you aren't associated with any of the 6 Darshans. In your opinion, which Darshan would be the best choice for Kaveh?
Everybody's fighting over baby Kaveh. Well, whenever you're dealing with the exploration, it can be really overwhelming in this game. But fun fact for you, and something that might make it easier since you guys got so far and then stopped. Once you complete the story quest in an area, instead of focusing on 100%ing the region or what have you, just focus on completing your story quest and working on your reputation. Once you get to a certain rank and reputation in all 4 zones, they give you this little compass that helps you with your exploration. It shows you where chests are. It's like a little device that you craft. You craft it one time, and then you can equip it, and you just hit a button, and it points you in the direction of the next closest chest. So instead of focusing on trying to complete the exploration, just enjoy the quests, chill out, and get artifacts and stuff like that. It'll even take you to some of the puzzle chests, yes. There was one time it was pointing me toward a chest, and I was like, there is no chest here. There was just like a little round thing. And it turned out that it was a pyro puzzle that I needed to solve to get said chest. So it does make it easier later in the game. I didn't focus on completing exploration. I just focused on the quests, and I was able to get through pretty quickly. You also get the Hangout quests, which give you a lot more XP as well later on, and you get to learn more about the characters. That's what we're doing here with Kaveh. I think she just needs to get through her first phase of studies before we start fighting over which Darshan she's going to be in.
Well said.
Agreed. And my goal in inviting you here was to gather some thoughts on the execution of this second phase.
Phase 2 far exceeds Phase 1 in both curriculum complexity and the speed of instruction. I hope Kale has prepared herself for what is coming.
Hey, what are you thinking now? Please don't tell me you're planning on lending her those abstruse books from your home library.
That character's Sino, and he's actually hilarious. He seems like he's got a really dry personality, but all he does is crack dad jokes. Like, 100% dad jokes. All the time. And I think he's Electro. He's Electro-based. So he'd run well with your Zhengling.
Actually, I was thinking about lending her a professions guide.
I'll make sure to write, "Don't become an architect" on the front page of that.
Aw, Kaveh.
You're right. I can't deny that.
Is there another phase after Phase 2? What's the ultimate goal of all of this? Are we trying to prepare her for a job in the academia?
We don't need to think that far ahead. Hold that thought, though. I think my vegetables are done.
Aw, Tainari's doing the cooking.
I'm telling you, that client had no idea what he was talking about. No matter what I did, he had something bad to say about it.
Oh no, Kaveh's sloshed again, guys. We gotta keep him out of the. We gotta get him that non-alcoholic wine is what he needs, and we'll just trick him. Okay, he'll think, and it'll be placebo effect. All right, he won't actually get this sloshed.
Have you considered finding another client?
They're all the same. I haven't had a good night's sleep for months now. Who do they think they are, ordering me to alter my design over and over again just because they have some mora?
It's too late now to change careers. You might as well try to find some joy in the pain. Besides, you'll be getting up in the middle of the night to make edits to your own design even when the client doesn't request it.
That is true. He is a perfectionist.
No. That's not true.
Cheer up, Kaveh. I'll tell you a new joke.
Ah, another Sino joke.
We'll save that for the end, Sino. You can
Aw.
keep it to yourself until then.
Nari said no.
Whatever. I'm not going to use my brain anymore. Let's drink tonight to our heart's content.
I'm surprised he doesn't have an animo vision like Venti. Venti seems like he would have had a hand in this. Oh, and we got to complete another one of the outcomes. Awesome. I think, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be Honkai Star Rail, but we might continue playing through some of Kaveh's story quest because it is just too wholesome. It is too wholesome. I am here for it. So Monday we will be back on Genshin Impact, and tomorrow we will be on Honkai Star Rail. So that's the end of the stream for today. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow or Monday or what have you. And if you liked it, I hope you come back. I hope you have a great day. Bye. And we will pick up here next time. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed the journey and you're wanting to continue progressing the storyline with me, I'll be uploading 5 times a week, Monday through Friday, here on YouTube. And if you really miss me, tune in to my live stream on Twitch every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, please like and subscribe to get notifications of all of our newest uploads and streams. It also helps appease the algorithm Archon. Bye-bye!